plus-size fitness compilation of our latest videos.
I'm a personal trainer and a power lifter.
I'm on a weight loss journey.
Brand new to the gym.
Workout hack. It's a fat person when you go in the wall.
Fatphobic side of TikTok.
Today, we're diving headfirst into the toxic underworld of the body-positive fitness movement. We're going to look at a compilation of videos from that creators and break down what they're doing wrong. Let's start with what's been spreading like wildfire on social media. The idea that you can be fit at any size. We're looking at a video from a personal trainer who says she lifts 4 days a week and loves her body exactly as it is. #powerlifting.
Hi, my name is Carrie. I'm a personal trainer and a power lifter, and this is what my body looks like as someone who works out 4 days a week.
Okay, let's just stop right there. Now, I want to be clear. I am all for anyone getting into the gym. Lifting weights is phenomenal for mental health, for building metabolically active muscle, and for genuine, sustainable fat loss. But if you work out 4 days a week and your body still indicates a severe caloric surplus and a clear lack of muscular development relative to your size, you are not a testament to fitness. You are a walking advertisement for a fundamental misunderstanding of everything. The part the body positivity and fat liberation movements don't want you to know is that diet is king for weight loss, and building muscle is the way to keeping it off. So what's going on here?
I viewed exercise as punishment as a kid growing up. I avoided physical education in school as much as I possibly could. Notes from my mom, notes that I said were from my mom. When I got to high school, I was the manager of certain sports teams so that I didn't have to actually do anything active. Mostly because I thought that if I was moving my body and I wasn't doing it in the same way that the other kids were, then that meant I wasn't good enough.
So, exercise as punishment. That's super common. A lot of people associate the gym with guilt instead of growth. Yes, exercise shouldn't be punishment, but it also shouldn't be therapy that ignores the hard truths about nutrition and fat loss. According to Harvard Health, over 80% of body composition change comes from diet, not the gym. You can lift 4 days a week, but if your gut microbiome is wrecked from ultra-processed foods and constant caloric surplus, no powerlifting routine is going to fix that.
I didn't know that there were options that involved modifying movements and finding things that you actually enjoyed and doing those things instead. When I finally learned that movement should be fun and movement should be modified to meet you where you're at, oh baby, things changed. I want to be active now. I want to move my body. I want to compete as a power lifter. And more than all of that, I want you to find that love of movement as well.
Fun is great. But if your version of fun is modifying movements until they no longer challenge your body to change, that's not body positivity. The body doesn't change just because we move for fun. It changes through progressive overload. The core philosophy of modern fitness culture that completely ignores the elephant in the room. Literally, the focus is entirely on modifying the movement to accommodate a lack of fitness, instead of the most crucial modification of all, modifying your body weight. The goal shouldn't be to find a way to move that doesn't feel like work. Which brings us to the powerlifting. You want to compete? Great. Powerlifting is about strength-to-weight ratios. But let's talk numbers, because the plus-size fitness hates numbers. She squats around 200 pounds. Now, an untold rule in strength sports is that an untrained, average woman should be able to squat roughly 65% of her body weight on her first day. If you are over 300 pounds, that means your genetic baseline should be around a 195-pound squat. So after becoming a dedicated powerlifter training 4 days a week, you've achieved the genetic potential of a complete beginner? This isn't strength. This is moving a relatively light weight for your body mass. This is the inevitable result of the body positivity narrative seeping into performance. We're celebrating the absolute minimum. Don't settle for a modified version of fitness. Demand the real thing.
I can do 20K steps on vacation or a weekend outside. All the activities but a gym routine feels like boring punishment sometimes.
And speaking of people on a so-called fitness journey, let's take a look at Casey, someone who's putting in effort, but proving that just moving your body isn't the same thing as actually transforming it.
Hey TikTok, my name's Casey. I'm from Brisbane, Queensland, and I'm on a weight loss journey. I'm currently weighing 264 kilos. Today is the 21st of March, and I'm currently at the pools doing some exercise to help my lipedema and lymphedema. If you'd like to follow along for my journey, come join me.
First off, this is awesome. Any movement is better than none, and aquatic workouts can reduce joint stress. But we have to call this what it is, a dangerously insufficient response to a life-threatening situation. Let's talk about why this kind of training alone rarely produces real fat loss results. Swimming or pool therapy burns calories, sure, but without adjusting nutrition and adding some resistance training, the energy balance usually doesn't shift much. Research shows that diet accounts for 70 to 80% of sustainable weight loss, while lifting weights or other forms of strength work help preserve muscle and boost metabolism. Movement should scale. Start low impact, then add structure. Track food intake, monitor protein, maybe introduce circuit training or basic body weight exercises. This isn't enough.
I saw you on my FYP 18 months ago and you were 261 kilograms.
Right, like I support her vibes so much, but her weight just goes up with every post about losing weight in the last couple years.
How do you get out?
Now let's move on to another message, the idea that no one wants to see a fat fitness girl. But keep in mind, she is a personal trainer.
No one wants to see a fat fitness girl. My body type does not determine my strength or worth.
And this might be the most delusional statement of them all, the ultimate shield of the body positivity movement. Let's dismantle this piece by piece. First, my body type does not determine my strength or worth. Well, let's talk about worth. In a commercial context, as a personal trainer, your body is your walking billboard, your primary credential, and it absolutely determines your perceived expertise. And as for strength, your body type, specifically being morbidly obese, absolutely determines your functional strength. It means you are carrying a debilitating amount of non-functional, metabolically hostile fat that stresses your entire system, from your joints to your heart. Extra visceral fat disrupts hormones and can even reduce force output under heavy loads. You can be strong at any size, but the question is whether that strength is serving your long-term health or masking deeper issues like inflammation and poor recovery.
And who's? Nobody, because I'm over here trying to find girls that look like me.
And we're back with another masterclass in fitness inefficiency.
Are you brand new to the gym and it absolutely terrifies you? 'Cause same. Come with me today and I will show you what I did. I started out by doing 5 minutes of cardio on the treadmill. Then I went into these, I believe they're called hammer curls. Guys, remember, I'm a beginner.
The first day is intimidating, but we've got to ask, what's the goal? If the goal is fat loss and building overall fitness, then a plan built entirely around small muscle isolation, hammer curls, bicep curls, might not be the smartest way to start. Why would you train just biceps? Whole session just biceps. So, the problem isn't effort. The problem is exercise selection. Compound lifts, squats, deadlifts, lunges, push-ups, engage more muscle, build strength faster. Starting with biceps is like washing your car before fixing the engine. It feels productive, but it's not moving the needle.
I did 3 sets of 10 on everything though. Next, I did some dumbbell overhand rows and I pretty much used 15 pounds throughout this entire workout. Other than the very end, I used 10s. Here I'm doing dumbbell bent over rows. This workout really got me sweaty. I have been trying to lift heavier though because I always lift lighter than I know I'm capable of. Here I'm just doing some dumbbell bicep curls with the 15 pounds that felt really heavy, and then I finished it off with these like punches. And I always finish my workouts by doing some cardio on the treadmill.
Did you notice a pattern? This is an entire workout dedicated to the gun show. We have hammer curls, we have rows, which she's using for her biceps, more bicep curls, and then punches. For a morbidly obese individual whose primary health threats are cardiovascular disease and metabolic dysfunction, this is strange. Your body is in a state of metabolic emergency, and you're worried about the peak of your bicep? And when you say, I have been trying to lift heavier, the goal isn't just to lift heavier for your biceps. The goal is to recruit more muscle mass to create a greater metabolic demand. When you are morbidly obese, you should be focusing on the largest muscle groups: your legs, your back, even your chest.
For my busty girls, you're going to want to see this workout hack. It's a resistance band, y'all, but for your boobs. Boo Buddy gifted me this to try, and I never thought something like this would work, to be very honest, but I think it did. So the concept is basically a resistance band for your bust, but you know how those things are so, I don't know, tight and compressed? You can't even do a proper lunge in those things, but just imagine that kind of extra support when you're wearing your sports bra and doing your workout. It's just that extra hold. Listen, I know this looks super weird, but I genuinely feel like I see a difference, like in my bounce. Do you see this? Like, do you see the difference?
Hello. Can I please ask, is toning your back even possibly if you're busty? 'Cause I feel like I'm destined to always have bra fat?
So I saw a creator this morning talking about kind of the burden as a fat person when you go on a walk, and like how you're worried that people, or that you'll slow people down because you need to walk a little bit slower, or you may need to walk a little bit slower. And it reminded me of a walk I went on this weekend with some family. And basically we went on a walk. I couldn't tell you how long it was, maybe 2 miles, relatively flat incline. And I was keeping pace. I was very aware of whether I was huffing or puffing, because just as a fat person, you always are. And I was walking with one family member on our own, and they turned to me and he went, Hannah, are you able to cope on this walk?
Here we have Hannah talking about being a burden on a walk because of her size. I get it. Social judgment is real, and nobody likes to feel watched. But here's the thing. Being concerned about your pace on a 2-mile walk isn't just a social perception issue. It's also a fitness and mobility issue. So, the narrative in fat acceptance spaces often frames size as completely separate from physical capability.
Hannah, are you able to cope on this walk? And I said, oh, yeah, I'm fine. It's a really lovely walk. It was like in the middle of the countryside. It was really lovely scenery. And I was fine. So I was like, okay. Interesting phrasing, but okay. And then when we got back home, a family member who couldn't make it on the walk said, Hannah, like, did you cope with the walk? Were you okay with it? And I said, yeah, I did. It was fine. You know, I was fine. And this question wasn't asked to any straight-sized person who was in the group. And talking to my partner afterwards, we both came to the conclusion that they obviously felt, or they judged that based on my size and then their perceived unfitness or unhealthiness that I must have, that I would struggle on that walk.
And here we have the ultimate conclusion of the fat acceptance and body positivity pipeline, a complete and total victim complex. Let's reframe this story without the emotional filter. Her family, who presumably know her and her physical state, expressed concern for her ability to complete a 2-mile walk. And her takeaway isn't, maybe my physical state is so alarming that the people who love me are genuinely worried for my health and stamina. Her takeaway is that they were trying to prove a point and make her flounder. She says, this question wasn't asked to any straight-sized person. Of course it wasn't. That's the entire point. When you are morbidly obese, you are not straight-sized. You are in a body that is, by every physiological metric, under extreme duress. The fact that a simple, flat, 2-mile walk is even a topic of conversation, an event where coping is the metric for success, should be alarm about your physical condition. They were simply observing the blatantly obvious, tangible reality of your physical fitness, or lack thereof.
And obviously I didn't, and I think they were taken aback by that. And, you might hear that and go, oh, well, they obviously care if they're asking. No, Because if they did care, they would have asked outright, they at the very beginning going like, Hannah, like we're going on a 2-mile walk. It's over this kind of terrain. Do you have any mobility issues? And I could have gone, thank you so much for letting me know. No, I don't. Or they could have, or if I did, would have accommodated. But what they did instead is they threw me in the situation to see whether I would flounder or cope, and then asked me. So that's not caring. That's trying to prove a point. This is an ongoing issue I have with that side of the family anyway. So it was just a bit blatant, and to be kind of told that I'm a burden, even though I absolutely wasn't, but they assumed I would be, really taints the walk. It was a really lovely walk, and I'll always remember it for that instead. So that kind of sucks. So yeah, even if you're not a burden, someone will find a reason for why you are.
This story is meant to show bias, but it actually highlights something deeper: how disconnected the fat acceptance movement has become from the science of health and performance. The goal shouldn't be to prove people wrong about your size. It's to make your health undeniable. Body positivity should mean taking care of the body you've got, so it lasts longer.
Maybe it's more like they think you should walk more and also care in general how you felt doing it. I don't know.
Maybe they forgot to ask at the beginning? I wasn't there to hear the tone of their voice, but let's try be positive.
Sorry you experienced this.
And for last, we have an answer to this comment. How do you expect clients to trust you to help them lose weight if you are overweight?
So I see we've made it to the fatphobic side of TikTok. So let's unpack this. So it's very clear that you have no issues with shaming someone for their body, because you just showed up on a stranger's TikTok page who happens to be the former Miss Plus Canada plus size model, motivational speaker, gym owner. I had 2 studios pre-COVID and now I'm 100% virtual. You left this comment on my video that is full of comments of women saying, I would love to work with someone like you because you would understand how to move a plus size body, how I feel, the shame that is associated in most gym spaces because of toxicity like the comment you just left. I became a personal trainer and opened a gym because of people like you and your ignorance, because so many plus size women are shamed about their bodies going into the gym that it's not encouraging to do anything at all. Also, not everything is about losing weight. A lot of this is the journey to self-love for most people, and I practice that.
This is just bragging, and there is nothing fatphobic about this genuine question. I myself wouldn't trust an overweight trainer.
Girl, I get it too as a plus-size trainer. Keep being amazing. We get the clients that are meant for us. Preach, Sarah. You are always on message. I am so happy you are telling people that health does not equal size.
So, while it's inspiring to see someone start somewhere, we need to hear this part too. Starting is not the same as succeeding. The mission isn't just to move, it's to transform. And that means fixing the diet, rebuilding the gut microbiome, gaining lean muscle, and gradually shifting from low-impact to strength-based workouts. That's how you reclaim your health, not just document the journey.
The first time I meet a client, one of the things that I have them do is a push-up.
I double chin.
Regular cardio, low intensity.
Why are you so big?
Rebounder class.
Motivate me to go to the gym.
You basically drink sugar.
In Pilates. My GLP-1 journey.
Let's start with a fitness coach who can't actually do a push-up, giving advice on push-ups. You can't make this up.
Y'all ever think about how in elementary school we would eat lunch, drink strawberry milk, and then go do push-ups in PE after that? Or run miles after that? Like, that was insane. Mystery meat and then strawberry milk. What a combination.
Yes, sounds weird, but at least you were moving. Nowadays, we've got adults eating whatever, not working out, and calling it body neutrality. And running after lunch wasn't a government experiment. It was just teaching kids that movement matters. Today, everyone's obsessed with listening to your body. But your body's been lying to you since the third cupcake. If you want fat loss, you need discipline, not dessert. It's obvious you can't do even one push-up. Sad.
This was also around the time that I first heard the term girl push-up. You know, that kneeling push-up variation? First of all, what a dumb name. Secondly, that might have given you a little bit of fear or stress around push-ups in general from that point on. The first time I meet a client, one of the things that I have them do is a push-up. Most of my clients are a little nervous and the first thing out of their mouth is, I don't know if I can do a push-up. And I say to them, you absolutely can. But guess what? There are thousands of variations, maybe not thousands, that might be an exaggeration. So many variations of a push-up, and all we have to do is find the one that feels most comfortable for you, and then we'll work from there to get to a push-up on your toes.
Yes, girl push-up is a dumb name. But you know what's dumber? That you can't do even one. And what's with all the variations? Comfort doesn't cause fat loss or strength gain. Comfort keeps you soft, physically and mentally. Sure, meet your clients where they're at, but don't build a house there. The goal isn't to feel comfortable. I do get the message. Inclusivity in fitness. Meet people where they are. Find what works. But if your what works never leads to progress, that's just fat acceptance.
You taking clients?
I used to think that double chins ran in my family when the truth was no one ran in my family. I had Don Julio 2 o'clock this morning. You're acting a foolio. Plan. What's wrong with Chick-fil-A? It gave you a big back. What's right with it? B, I have a lot of makeup on. You have a lot of back rolls. How do you stop eating McDonald's? Throw your car in the trash. That's it. You're a natural big bone. Yeah, you look like a dinosaur. You've already lost 10 pounds by eating less than 1,000 calories a day. Is that a surprise to me? No, it's just stupid. Butter on Ezekiel bread? No, put dreams and nightmares on the Ezekiel bread like meat meal. Dream about a chiseled jawline, have nightmares about a big back. Oh no!
Her insults are very motivating in some way.
A lot of people think lifting heavy weights is just for men, but that's really not true. Women can benefit just as much, maybe even more, from getting strong. When you lift heavy things, your muscles learn to work together, and your body gets better at doing everyday stuff. Carrying groceries, playing with kids, climbing stairs, all of it feels easier. Plus, seeing yourself lift something you never thought you could is a huge confidence boost. You start to feel proud of your body for what it can do, not just how it looks.
Hi friends, it is 6:42 in the morning. I'm so tired. I've been trying to get consistent again with workouts, so let's get 15 minutes in.
See, this is the trap social media sells. Something is better than nothing. Sure, but not when something is barely raising your heart rate. 15 minutes on a stepper burns about the same calories as few bites of a slice of toast. That's not a workout, that's a warm-up.
At least on the stepper machine. It just feels good to look at yourself and like not hate what you're seeing. And it's not even so much about my body as much as it is my mindset. So yeah. Today we're taking it easy. So I'm gonna get out my stepper and I'm just gonna step for 15 or 20 minutes while watching a show, which is probably gonna be Black Cake on Hulu because I just started that.
You wasted more time preparing for this so-called workout. And mindset absolutely matters, but movement should back it up. The best way to change your mindset and your body is resistance training. When you lift weights, your body releases endorphins, builds lean tissue, and actually changes how you carry yourself. And why does your workout turn into background noise? You don't need Netflix. You need progressive overload. Pick up dumbbells. Do squats. Push yourself until you feel muscles working. That's how you get results that last longer than one episode of a Hulu drama.
So I'm just gonna ease in with some regular cardio. Low intensity cardio. Ooh, girl. Ooh, girl. Okay. But I found my show. I'm gonna watch Black Cake. I have 18 minutes left of this episode. So we're gonna get that done. It is 6:54. We're 8 minutes in, 115 beats per minute, 61 calories. Not bad if you ask me. Thirty seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're ending at 18 minutes, 124 beats per minute, 156 calories. And we're done. Day 1 of trying to get back to being consistent again after like a whole shitstorm in the beginning half of the month.
Consistency matters, but so does intensity. Burning 150 calories won't undo a sedentary day or build any meaningful strength. If you're coming back after time off, start with compound lifts, squats, rows, presses. Then add short bursts of cardio at the end, or even skip the cardio part. Replace that stepper session with weights, protein, and sleep.
That stepper honestly looks so fun. I would love doing that.
Getting up is the hardest part. You got this.
Why am I aggressive? Why are you so big? You asking the wrong questions. If I was as big as you, I'd be asking how I get littler. How I get to show my jawline. You asking the wrong questions. Don't come in here and ask me, why am I so aggressive? If you that big, ask me how I lose weight. Don't ask me nothing stupid. Wait, you want to fight me? Don't. I can't fight. I've never been in a fight a day in my life. These hands do not work. I'm telling you. So instead of fighting me, let us fight the plate together. Why do you have multiple accounts? Because I'm smart. Why don't you? Oh, I have one account. It's the internet, nigga. You could have 1,000. The way your brain works is so interesting to me. It's the internet. What if you have insulin resistance? Resist Chick-fil-A today. Every day you resist Chick-fil-A, you get a little bit more snatched.
Another big reason women should lift heavy is because it helps your body burn more energy. Muscle burns more calories than fat, even when you're just sitting down. So, when you build muscle through lifting, your body becomes like a little engine that runs more efficiently all the time. It also helps balance your hormones, keeps your energy steady, and makes it easier to stay at a healthy weight without spending hours doing boring cardio every day. Take my advice. Wear the shorts and the bra. But why? No one needs to see this. And you are missing one bra.
Sleep or build.
How is Pilates a placebo? Because you do Pilates and you still have a double chin. That's how it's a placebo. Why are you not snatched yet? Why are you not looking better than Lori Harvey? Lori Harvey was eating 1,200 calories a day. She went to her kitchen and she ate less food. You refuse to eat less. That's why you're still big. Tell me every single detail of what is going in your mouth for the entire day today. Please enlighten me. A smoothie. You're going to be even bigger this summer. Oatmeal and grapes. You're large and in charge already. Cucumber salad and chicken. Yikes. You're going to need to lose more weight by the time you get to this summer. You have no idea? I know you don't. Salad. You've been eating salads and that's how you got so big in the first place. Protein shake. Oh, Brie. Oh my God. Next year is going to be the biggest year you've ever had. Fish, chips, juice, and candy. Yeah, you staying big. If I only drink water and eat nothing, then you would die.
Lifting heavy also helps protect your bones. As women get older, bones can get weaker and more fragile, especially after menopause. But when you lift weights, your bones actually grow stronger, just like your muscles do. That means fewer injuries, better posture, and staying active as you age. It's like saving money in a strength bank account for your future self. Every workout is a little deposit that pays off later.
Come with me to my first rebounder class. Now, I went into this thinking that we would be doing some cute little bouncing to the beat. Ooh, was I wrong? Brittany had us out here doing weights, jumping, choreography, falling on my ass, and then repeating all of that 5 more times. Girl! A NASA study found that 10 minutes of jumping on a trampoline is the equivalent of a 30-minute run. And baby, I was here knucking, bucking, and jumping for an hour. So I'm gonna let y'all do the math. As someone who has gym trauma, this was the perfect class for me to get back in because the music was pumping. The instructor was instructing, giving modifications when need be, and baby, I needed. And honestly, the vibes were a 10 out of 10. So I will be back, and I will be bringing whatever this energy is.
Okay, points for enthusiasm. But jumping around to music is fun, not a training strategy. If you enjoy it, great. Just don't confuse that with building strength or real fat loss progress. And mixing weights with endless jumping burns calories, sure, but it's not how you build muscle. True strength training means controlled reps, progressive overload, and giving your muscles a reason to grow. So, okay, this is awesome. If it gets someone moving again, it's a win, but once the novelty wears off, you need progression, heavier lifts, structured programs.
OMG, I know you were sore as hell the next day.
Motivate me to go to the gym. I'm 40 or overweight. Girl, hell can freeze over. You ain't never gonna get no motivation. Hell will freeze over before you get the motivation to get up and change your life. How do I know? You 40. And you still haven't gotten your life together. There's nothing I can say or do to get you up off that couch. 40? No. Hell is going to freeze over before you get your life together. That's what you telling me. So there's nothing I can do. The mirror hasn't changed you. Your baby daddy hasn't changed you. Your mama hasn't changed you. The doctor begging you to slow down on the eating hasn't changed you. There's nothing I can do at 40. What do you want me to do? Pray about it. Live. You know, I get that question a lot. I come on live every single day, about 4 hours a day the last 5 years. And people are always like, help me. Nothing has helped you before. The last time your homegirl was like, ooh, you want to do a diet together? You almost snapped on her because you thought she was calling you fat. Your kids say, mommy, can you come outside and run with us? You too tired. That didn't change you. The doctor saying, baby, you pre-diabetic now. There's nothing. I'm a stranger. I can't do nothing. So hell will freeze over before you get the motivation.
She's saying 40 like a slur.
A lot of women worry that lifting heavy will make them bulky, but that's just a myth. Women don't have the same hormones that men do, so it's really hard to build huge muscles. Instead, lifting helps shape your body and makes you look leaner and stronger. You end up with the kind of tone and definition most people actually want.
Hater number 1 says, you basically drink sugar if you that big. Hater number 2 says, can you say knee replacement?
Knee replacement.
See, all the sugar fell out 'cause you're already sweet as can be.
A lot of the girls online now, they're showing their bodies in Pilates, right? So you see girls who have really beautiful, perfect physiques, just like Lori Harvey. And without context or without looking at those pages, those girls, Nene, happy birthday to you. It looks like that girl got her body from being in Pilates. They're not. They were bad down bodybuilders before ever going to Pilates. You see those NFL guys who go to Pilates classes? You seen those videos of NFLers going to Pilates? Oh, I'm sorry, Steven. Oh, I'm sorry. Those NFL guys who go to Pilates. Not for 1 second do you ever think that NFL guy got his body from Pilates.
This is what being over 500 pounds looks like. This too. And this. Hi there. I'm Michaela. I am newly on my GLP-1 journey to lose weight and get healthy.
All right, let's talk about the new celebrity miracle drug, GLP-1. These drugs don't fix why the weight came on, they just turn off your hunger signal. The second you stop, appetite roars back. Also, a GLP-1 progress can be misleading. Sure, the scale drops fast, but that's not all fat. It's also muscle loss. Without resistance training and enough protein, you're setting yourself up for rebound weight. Studies from the NIH show that up to 2/3 of lost weight can come back once the injections stop, if habits don't change.
GLP-1 journey to lose weight and get healthy. And it's somebody that's over 500 pounds. This is part of my journey. It's part of my story. And I wanted to document it because honestly, I'm not great about taking these kind of photos so that I can look back and hopefully see my progress, both how I feel, but also how I look. Sometimes the scale doesn't show it, and photos like these, hopefully, or videos like these will. It's certainly not the glamorous side of being overweight. I'm not really sure what is, but this is my reality, is that I'm not super comfortable behind the wheel of my car. I'm down 20 pounds, and I will tell you, I'm much more comfortable than I was 20 pounds ago.
That's amazing progress. But imagine pairing that medication with weight training and nutrient-dense food instead of relying on a prescription forever. The gut microbiome, strength training, and metabolic health all improve when you feed your body properly and move with resistance.
Down 20 pounds, and I will tell you, I'm much more comfortable than I was 20 pounds ago. But hopefully, as my journey goes on, we'll see how different I look. So thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you're on your journey and doing well. Talk to you soon. Bye.
So yeah, GLP-1s can be a useful emergency tool, especially for people who are severely obese and out of options. But they're not a lifestyle. GLP-1 can be life-saving in cases like this, but we need to know the side effects and the fact that once started, you cannot go back. If you don't learn to lift, eat right, and build muscle, you'll always be chasing the next injection. Long-term health doesn't come from a pharmacy.
I'm so thankful for your journey. I'm subscribing for the inspiration. I desperately want to be on GLP-1. My doctor prescribed it, but I can't afford it. $886 for 1 month, and that's the cheapest.
You walk 2 hours on the treadmill. Why? And you're not burning 600 calories. You think you are because your Fitbit and your Apple Watch are telling you that, but they're overestimating how many calories are being burned during activity. It's a lie. The truth is, every day that you do 2 hours on the treadmill, you burn less calories each and every day. So the first time you walked on the treadmill, you burned 300 calories max. That was it. You didn't burn no 600. It's a lie. Your heart rate wasn't that high. You were going at a very low, slow pace, and your heart rate wasn't very high. So 300 calories. Day 2, you burned 298. Day 3, you burned 296. Day 4, you burned 292. So you've been burning less calories over time every single day you've been going to that gym. So that's why cardio is not as effective long term for trying to get weight loss results versus building muscle. So we do cardio to increase our cardiovascular strength, so we have the endurance to get through weightlifting workouts. The weightlifting workouts allow us to build muscle. As we build muscle, we increase how many calories our body burns every single day at rest. You don't have to go to the gym. The treadmill tells me that the treadmill is based on a 200-pound white man. I want you to think about it. Are you a 200-pound white man? Why am I saying that? Because that's who it's based on. So that white man has a lot of lean muscle mass, a lot more muscle than you. So if that white man was on the treadmill for 2 hours at that pace and that speed, then that white man with all that muscle, thank you so much, I appreciate you. That white man with all that muscle would burn that many calories. You don't have as much muscle. So whoever has the most muscle burns more calories during activity. That's not you. So the treadmill is telling an even bigger lie than you can ever imagine. So the answer is going to be no for you.
Lifting heavy is amazing for your mind. It helps relieve stress, improves sleep, and can even make you feel happier. Every time you finish a tough workout, you get this feeling of accomplishment that sticks with you all day. Over time, it teaches you patience, consistency, and self-belief. You realize that strength isn't just about muscles. It's about becoming tougher in every part of your life.
It's a beautiful day to live well fat.
When you are in shape.
Okay, but what if you didn't lose any weight?
Not for you.
That I ran 5 miles this morning.
We're jumping really high.
It's a beautiful day to live well fat, and today I am taking an aerial silks class for the very first time. There's a big part of me that can't even believe I'm saying that, because this is one of those activities where the moment I saw someone else do it, my initial reaction was, I want to do that, but was promptly followed up by a drop in my stomach, and yet another unwelcomed visit from this voice that visited me every single day, multiple times a day, that said, you can't. You're too fat for that.
Okay, so today's viral inspiration says, it's a beautiful day to live while fat. And look, I'm all for living, but I'd like you to be alive longer, not just louder. It's great that she's trying this for the first time. Seriously, any kind of movement is better than Netflix cardio. But this isn't really a fitness video. Why the hashtag exercise? When your main goal is to feel alive, not to get healthier, you're missing what exercise is actually for: improving function, strength, and reducing visceral fat. So you can totally try this, but pair that with a plan for fat loss and muscle growth. Motivation without progression is just emotional cardio.
You can't. You're too fat for that. And so, it's been on a shelf with my other I can'ts and one days. Until now. And I'm at a point in my life where I can't imagine not at least trying to do all of the things I want to do in this lifetime. Not just, but especially those things that have been sitting on that figurative shelf because I was taught that my body has either made me incapable or unworthy of doing them. So when I was moments away from actually booking this class and heard the little voice in my head say, good luck getting the roof is absolutely going to cave in. You're going to be so stressed the whole time. Everyone else is going to be so much better than you. I took a deep breath, typed in my card number, and marched my ass into the next available level 1 class with my head held high.
You celebrate that the silks held me up. The roof didn't cave in. That's funny, but it accidentally shows how low the bar has been set. Surviving an activity is not the same as thriving in it. Same as if your first goal in a gym is, I hope the equipment doesn't break. Something has gone wrong. This is where the body positivity bubble becomes misleading. It turns participation into progress, even when no measurable progress happens. It's like saying, I bought dumbbells, therefore I'm stronger. Yes, exercise should be enjoyable, but fun shouldn't be the priority. The priority should be progress, building muscle, improving endurance, and dropping visceral fat, especially around the abdomen where it wrecks your metabolic health. And that's not fatphobia. According to the NIH, visceral fat is directly linked to insulin resistance, inflammation, and heart disease.
And I'm not gonna lie, it took a hot minute to detangle those exact same thoughts once I actually got to the gym. But guess what? The silks did hold me up. The roof did not cave in. Yes, everyone else was more advanced than I was because they'd been doing it for longer than I have. And I had the time of my goddamn life. Even if I only got a couple inches off the ground after like 45 minutes, you could not tell me shit when I walked out that door, and you still can't. If you live in a larger body, please do something today that makes you feel alive. Especially if that thing has been on your shelf for way too long. I love you. I'm rooting for you. Now go live your life.
You don't live in a larger body. You are fat. Extremely fat. So yes, take that class. Move. Try things. But let's stop pretending that doing one symbolic workout is the same as building a strong, capable body. If you really want empowerment, pick up a barbell. Do resistance training. Fix your diet, because diet matters more than exercise for fat loss. And a healthy gut microbiome can completely change your energy, mood, and hunger signals. You don't need fat liberation. You need liberation from fat.
I honestly love seeing you live how you want.
You are an inspiration.
Mama, may I have cookie?
No, Diabito. Roll back to kitchen.
Oh.
When you are in shape, people treat you better. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not talking about a specific shape. When you are dedicating your life to becoming the highest version of yourselves, you eat right, you work out, you move your body. I'm not talking about any shape or size. Stay with me now. But when you are in shape for you, you are treating you better, so people are going to treat you better. Get your ass up and go move today.
It's part of pretty privilege. I promise. My physical stature has put me in rooms and granted me opportunity that my skills and intellect could never.
People treat you how you treat you.
Okay, but what if you didn't lose any weight? What if you stayed consistent in the gym and you improved your sleep and your mood and your cognitive functions, and then you lowered your blood pressure and your joints ached less? What if you felt stronger and more capable and aging was less scary? Sounds nice, right? Exactly. Go lock in.
Another episode of Health, but without the health. The whole "you don't need to lose weight" mantra sounds nice because it removes pressure, but it also removes progress metrics. In fitness, data is your friend, and yes, muscle weighs more than fat per volume, so the scale isn't everything, but pretending weight never matters is wild. When you train consistently and eat right, a lot of those benefits she listed, better mood, sharper cognition, less joint pain, come from improved body composition. Less inflammatory visceral fat, more muscle to support the joints, better insulin sensitivity, improved sleep hormones. So yes, lock in, but lock in with intention. Lift weights, build muscle, fix your diet, track your gut health. Fat loss is longevity.
What do you eat?
Food.
Is 2 servings good? Not for you. 2 servings would be for 2 people. That's why you're the size of 2 people. Eat 1 person's worth of food. Why is weighing food necessary? So you know exactly how much you're eating. If I asked you to go get a serving of rice, you'd bring back 6 servings of rice. If you continue to bring 6 servings of rice onto your plate and swallow it whole, you're going to be bigger than a house. 1 serving of rice is 200 calories. Your 6 servings of rice is 1,200. A lot of people think that bread is bad, carbs are bad, rice is bad. No, it's not. Too much rice is bad. That's the major difference between losing fat and gaining fat. So if you eat a serving of rice, you'll be small, you'll look better than Meg Thee Stallion. So when you get a meal plan, it'll tell you what a serving is for you for that particular meal. You'll use a food scale to confirm it because you cannot eyeball the work. To lose belly fat, what do you have to be in a calorie deficit? No, I like you to be at calorie maintenance to focus on building muscle. Why is diet good? For keeping in a constant weight, eating at calorie maintenance, which is not a diet. Why are we up so early? Because we're up early every morning. Do you offer help in exercising? The meal plan comes with the workout guide, so you're covered.
You know what we don't talk about enough? We do not talk about how difficult it is when you work out in the morning and then you go to work, but you pretend that it didn't happen. Like, you just don't talk about it. It is so hard not to say anything. Like, I try so hard not to say anything as soon as I walk in the door. I do try to keep it in check because it's like, I don't want like other people like to feel bad about themselves. Like, if I'm saying they're like, yeah, I worked out this morning, like, and I'm just throwing it in their face. Like, I don't want them to feel bad.
But your workout doesn't need a press release. The gym doesn't hand out trophies for attendance. Working out early doesn't make you elite. Morning workouts, night workouts, whatever. The time of day isn't what builds strength or burns fat. If you're really putting in the work, your energy, posture, and stamina will show it. You don't need to remind the office every Monday.
Like, I don't want them to feel bad, but ultimately, I do need them to understand that I worked out. It is literally impossible when you did something that was fucking elite to not share it with the fucking world or to pretend like it never happened. When I'm at work and I haven't yet told people, yeah, I ran 5 miles this morning, in my head I'm like, these people have no fucking idea that I am a motherfucking beast and that I ran 5 miles this morning. And I need to let them know that they are in the presence of someone who is a fucking monster. Someone that wakes up at 5:30 in the motherfucking morning to work out. Like, they need to know that.
Results talk louder than routines. Lifting heavier, moving faster, having more endurance, lowering body fat, improving your gut health, that's progress. Bragging without measurable change is just fitness cosplay. So let the results do the bragging. Whether you train at sunrise or sunset doesn't matter. What matters is showing up, building muscle, eating for fat loss, and staying consistent long enough that people can see the difference. No announcement required.
When people announce it, I know it's a new thing. I don't even remember my AM workouts because it's a daily habit.
I stay silent. My body does the talking.
How much should a guy earn for you to date him? Over 500k, close to $1 million. If he doesn't, I'm not gonna say yes. Do you hear me? How much should the guy pay for the engagement ring? He needs to pay again. 500. He gets paid every year. 500. He saves that towards the ring. If he doesn't, he's gonna get a no, and it's gonna be embarrassing.
She eats over 500k calories. I think she wants to eat the mic. She weighs 500k.
Why would I pay 500k for a fridge?
I know we see tons of crazy rebounding moves where we're jumping really high, doing tons of acrobatics, but sometimes the basics are the best. I'm gonna show you some of my favorite basic rebounding moves. You cannot go wrong with just the basic health bounce. You're pressing into the rebounder. You're not jumping high. You're not trying to lift up with my heels. I'm trying to push evenly across all 10 toes, balls of my feet and heels at one time. Easy transition just from the basic bouncing is going right into a double leg rock. Bounce, 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 bounce. You're just bending one knee, alternating either side.
Okay, now we've entered the land of the barely bounce cardio. Press on 10 toes, but keep zero intensity. Look, rebounding may be called exercise, but only when you actually elevate your heart rate. This here, pure comedy. Here's the problem. Social media keeps selling gentle movement as a substitute for progressive training.
Alternating either side. You can do it with some arms. You can do it without the arms, however you like. You can also go right into just a single rock, which is a little bit more fast paced. If I want a little bit more movement, I'll go side to side. I'm adding a little bit more here, adding a little toe tap. Now sometimes I'll take out a single arm if I want to get a little bit more action. Sometimes I'll add weights. You do you again. Pick your own adventure. Do what feels best for your body. You can also go some little heel digs, or you can go toe taps where you're tapping the toe. Now, I also maybe like to add a little more movement. I'm gonna go front to back. Front to back. Let me know if you try these out and what are some of your favorite rebounding moves.
The magic isn't in the trampoline. It's in effort, tension, and progression. If you can have a full conversation while doing it, it's not cardio. So sure, bounce around if it makes you happy. But if you want real fat loss, you'll need more than micro bounces. Lift weights, eat for recovery, manage your gut health, and do something that challenges you.
This is a genuine, unsettling question. It was proven about 10 years ago that trampoline fitness leads to urinary incontinence and pelvic muscle damage. Since then, all studios in Europe have closed. Is this sport still popular in the US?
Vegetarians have smaller brains. This is seen in humans, that the less a human eats meat, then the smaller the brain becomes. The brain is so dependent on the nutrient density that comes from animal-sourced foods that it will suffer when it doesn't get them. It's a real thing. And why does depression go up so much when people stop eating animal-sourced foods? It's because you are depriving the brain of what it needs.
We didn't need a study for that.
Gym days always start at 5 a.m.
I used to think that fatphobia.
A lot of people say that plus size trainers are promoting obesity.
This is my body, and this is also my body.
So lately there's been this trend of fat fitness journey videos all over social media. I love seeing people try to better themselves, but the problem is a lot of these videos are packed with bad advice and misplaced frustration. So let's break down a few of these clips that have been circulating because they really highlight where the conversation around health and body image has gone off the rails. First up, we've got a woman talking about her 5 a.m. gym routine, focusing only on triceps because she's trying to get rid of bat wings. Sounds disciplined, right?
Another episode of me becoming the woman of my dreams. Gym days always start at 5 a.m. No later, okay? I am really trying to focus on my arms because my legs really is doing what it need to be doing for me. So here's what we got on the menu for today. Focusing mainly on my triceps so I can get rid of my little bat wing mainly. I always finish off my workouts with a walking and run split. This just works for me. But that's it, y'all. I'll see y'all in another episode.
All right, so let's talk about this video. Another episode of me becoming the woman of my dreams. I love the motivation, but there are some serious misconceptions here that a lot of people fall into. First off, the whole 5 a.m. gym grind thing, that's not the magic key to results. You don't need to wake up before sunrise to get fit. What matters is consistency and recovery, not punishing yourself with an early alarm. But the real problem here is the training approach. Doing an entire session focused just on triceps? That's not it, especially if your main goal is fat loss or overall body transformation. You can't spot reduce fat from your arms. Hitting only triceps and then hopping on the treadmill might feel productive, but it's not efficient. For someone carrying extra weight, the best use of time in the gym is compound lifts, squats, deadlifts, rows, movements that engage multiple muscle groups to build strength. And skipping leg day? Huge mistake. Your legs are your biggest muscle group. Training them boosts your metabolism way more than isolation exercises ever will. Add in a proper diet, and you'll see progress so much faster. So while I respect the discipline and the effort, this routine is a great example of working out, but not necessarily working smart.
Get it, girl. That 5 a.m. is dedication.
Now, the next video dives into a totally different issue. The idea that if people at the gym don't talk to you, that's somehow proof of fatphobia. Let's see.
So as someone who's 100 pounds overweight, I used to think that fat phobia or someone treating you differently for your weight was a myth. Because I had never had someone be rude to me, at least in person, for my weight. Online is a totally different story. But I've been noticing lately, so I'm working out with my friend who, she's in really great shape. She's training for a bikini bodybuilding competition, and she's gorgeous. So it's obvious that when we're at the gym, men are going to come up and talk to her. But what's astounded me is that these men will come up to her and have like 5-minute conversations with her, and they don't even look at me or acknowledge that I exist. They'll be talking to her, and it's seriously like they don't even look at me, like I'm not there. And I just can't imagine if the roles were reversed. I would never go up and talk to someone and have a conversation with them and not acknowledge someone next to them. And that to me shows that it's like if you are overweight, you're kind of treated like you're not a real human sometimes.
So she realized fatphobia is real because men at the gym talk to her fit friend but don't acknowledge her. Look, I get where the feeling comes from. It sucks to feel invisible, but let's be real, this doesn't automatically make the world fatphobic. People are attracted to what they're attracted to. That's not discrimination. By this logic, if not every person talks to you, the entire world is fatphobic. Gym interactions aren't moral judgments, they're social dynamics. And honestly, most people at the gym are focused on their own workouts, their music, their reps. If someone chooses to chat with a person they find attractive, that's not oppression. Playing the victim over basic social behavior doesn't help anyone, especially when you're trying to make real progress. Instead of focusing on who isn't talking to you, focus on your goals, your training, your health, because confidence and consistency are what actually change how people see you.
Why are you talking about men's attention when you were married to begin with? And yes, unfortunately, this is just how the world works. Me being fit, I am gonna be attracted to fit men as well.
Not a phobia, but biology and thousands of years of evolution. They're subconsciously looking for the best incubator for their genes.
All right, next up, we've got another viral full body workout video claiming it's the only workout you'll ever need and that it helped her lose 65 pounds. Sounds amazing, right? But here's the problem. This kind of advice is exactly what keeps people spinning their wheels in the gym. Mixing a bunch of movements together, squats into presses, curls into lunges, RDLs into front raises, might look flashy on camera, but it's not efficient or logical training. Your squat and your press are completely different strength levels. The weight that's challenging for your squat will be way too heavy for your shoulders, and the weight that works for your shoulders will be too light for your legs. So what ends up happening? You don't actually challenge either muscle group properly. You're just moving around, sweating, and calling it a workout. That might feel productive, but it's not how you build real strength or muscle. The truth is, fitness doesn't need to be overcomplicated. You don't need a combo move circus routine. You need solid, basic lifts done with progressive overload. Squat heavy, press heavy, pull heavy. Then rest, eat, and repeat. The people who actually change their bodies long-term aren't chasing fancy workouts. They're mastering the fundamentals.
Why are people going to the gym for dumbbell workouts? Genuinely curious.
Does it matter the weight on the dumbbell?
And that brings us to a bigger point. This whole trend of redefining fitness to make everyone feel good instead of actually get better. We've gone from celebrating results to celebrating excuses.
A lot of people say that plus-size trainers are promoting obesity and we're just lazy because we can't do it ourselves. And I just want to show you that this is what I used to look like. I did do it myself, and it was hell. It was hell. I do not want any of my clients to think that they have to look a certain way to be a part of fitness, to love fitness, to be in a world where you are training all of the time. It can be done in a plus-size body, and it can be done in a healthy way.
I understand the message she's trying to send, that your worth as a person isn't tied to your body fat percentage. Absolutely true. But when we're talking about fitness coaching, it's not just about compassion or understanding, it's about credibility. You can't be preaching health and performance while clearly not maintaining your own. And the irony is, she's literally showing proof that she used to be in great shape, which just highlights that she's not following the same advice anymore. A trainer's job is to lead by example, to embody the lifestyle they're teaching, not just talk about it. There's a difference between being body positive and being complacent. Motivation should come from consistency and discipline, not from rationalizing why it's okay to lose what you once had.
Nothing looks as good as strong feels. I would feel so much more comfortable with a trainer who looks like me and understands what my body feels like and is going through.
This is my body, and this is also my body. This is my body sitting down, and this is also my body sitting down. This is what my body looks like from the side, but this is also what my body looks like from the side. This is my body working out, and this is also my body working out. The point is, your body's gonna move, your body's gonna change with different angles, different lighting, and that is okay. Your body is literally made to move. So stop comparing yourself, stop judging your body. You're perfect as you are.
You've probably seen dozens of these videos floating around. Someone showing different poses, lighting, or angles, while telling you to love yourself as you are. And yes, body positivity in moderation is important. Nobody's saying you should hate your reflection, but let's not twist the message. Your body doesn't magically change shape or size depending on the angle. It's not about perspective, it's about reality. You can change how your body looks in a photo, but that doesn't change your health, your strength, or your habits. And the idea that you're perfect as you are no matter what, that's comforting, but it's also dangerous if it stops you from improving. We're supposed to grow, to evolve, to strive for better. Accepting yourself doesn't mean settling. You can respect your body and still want more from it. Pretending that extra weight or poor fitness is just another angle is denial.
Your body is your mind. If you like yourself, you are perfect.
Every one of these videos started with good intentions. Self-love, motivation, empowerment. But somewhere along the way, we traded honesty for comfort. We stopped asking, how can I get better? Loving your body doesn't mean lying to yourself about it. Real self-respect means wanting more for yourself, not less. It means eating better, training smarter, pushing harder, and being okay with a little discomfort, because that's how progress happens.
The most frustrating thing about plus-size fashion is when brands get it and they design really cool fucking stuff and then they just don't extend the sizing.
Buckle up. Apparently, fashion brands are now part of a grand conspiracy, a secret plan to protect humanity from the overwhelming power of plus-size beauty. That's the theory, at least, because instead of expanding clothing sizes, these companies are supposedly doing a public service by keeping fat babes from looking too good. Satire or not, let's hear the explanation. You can't make this up.
Because there's this coat from Next, it's the one that went viral, that trench coat. And I know everyone and their mums were saying that this was running really large and I should at least try the size 22, but that size 22 has been out of stock for at least 8 weeks now, because I check very regularly. Just like, but if you've done a size 22, what's stopping you from going to a size 24 or size 26? You know what I mean? And I think the reason why, you may call me delusional and that's okay. I think the reason why is because they know we would look too good. I would look too good. Like I would look too good in this coat, and it wouldn't actually be fair to everyone else if I could wear that coat.
Let's pause for a second. Somewhere along the way, the conversation about body positivity turned into a fantasy where personal responsibility doesn't exist, and every inconvenience is part of a systemic plot. A coat not being available in your size is simply supply and demand. Brands design based on profit, not your self-esteem. If a size sells less, they stop making it. That's not discrimination. But no, the idea that companies fear how good overweight people might look is a perfect example of the fat acceptance bubble. It flips the narrative. Instead of confronting the health consequences of obesity, it turns lack of access into proof of power. It's comforting to think that the world is secretly intimidated by you, rather than acknowledging that plus-size fashion simply costs more to produce and doesn't sell as widely.
What we didn't realise is actually all of these brands were actually doing a public service, not creating their clothes big enough, because they just knew that the plus size girls would fucking eat it up, pun intended. They would eat it up. You wouldn't even know where to look, because there'd just be so much gloriousness all around you. And they were like, well, we can't do it. It's too distracting. We would never get anything done. We would never get anything done because every fat babe you've ever seen will look so fucking good if they just expanded their fashion brands to include us. So for the sake of, I guess, the world, they went, we're gonna have to cap it. You're already so powerful. We're gonna have to cap it.
This type of thinking, turning inconvenience into conspiracy, isn't harmless. It teaches people to externalize every problem. Instead of asking, why is this coat not in my size? The better question might be, why am I waiting 8 weeks for a coat instead of 8 weeks into a health plan? Because at the end of the day, no fashion brand can fix what's happening on the inside. The core of this mindset is misplaced energy. Imagine how powerful it would be if the same passion used to refresh online listings for a size 22 coat was redirected toward exercise, nutrition, or lifestyle change.
They went, we're gonna have to cap it. You're already so powerful. We're gonna have to cap it. And that's actually why Next doesn't want my money. They've gone, you know what? We'd love the money because this is capitalism. We'd love the money, Hannah. But it's worth us not having the money to stop you from being so fucking powerful. And I guess, like, me being the humble person I am, I have to respect that. I'm gutted that I can't, reach my full potential. But as we've discussed, the full potential would be too much for the world. So that's it. I've cracked it.
Or maybe, just maybe, there's no conspiracy. Just a marketing department doing math. Maybe it's time to stop waiting for brands to extend the sizing and start extending our discipline instead.
Or they do extend the sizing but double the price in the bigger sizes, so it's impossible to afford anyway.
The only explanation I'll be accepting from now on.
Yes, because we are already taking more space. Next thing we will take the whole world.
Also the reverse, when they do an item in plus size that I just know won't sell to plus size buyers. Usually cause they actually have no idea how plus size actually fits.